the way you understand life and its mysteries. When my dad died, I immediately looked for the leather journal I had given to him years before, with the request that he fill it with stories and things he wanted me to know. He had only written on one page. Anything I have achieved or accomplished in my life is because of the gift of your mother as my wife. You should get to know her. I thought I knew her, but I followed his advice, and it was one of the most transformative experiences of my life. From a place of vulnerability and generosity, each author in this series invites us to walk with them for 40 days on their journeys toward transformation. I hope you will not limit yourself to only your number. Learn about your spouse or a friend. Consider learning about the type you suspect represents your parents or your siblings. You might even want to learn about someone you have little affection for, but are willing to try to understand. You can never change how you see, but you can change what you do with how you see. 1. On being a 1. I am a number 1 on the Enneagram. If you are a 1, you know the weight of the world we carry. If you know a 1, this will give you enhanced insight into our world. Either way, bring your work boots. You will need them. My hope is that this book will shine a light on 1s and offer space for some yeahs and, you mean I'm not the only one? Give yourself permission to reflect on what might offer you more joy and spontaneity, peace of mind, and dare I say it up front, more freedom. I started my Enneagram journey as part of a quest to know who I really was after experiencing a major depressive episode that shattered my sense of self. I lovingly refer to that episode and time in my life as the crash. What I learned about depression is that when 1s give up on themselves or others, they move to the low side of Enneagram 4 behavior. At this point, 1s often appear to be depressed to others, and some 1s, like me, do indeed become clinically depressed. As I was recovering, I attended an Enneagram workshop in Houston, my hometown, at the Yoon Center. I almost burst into tears as the facilitator spoke and unpacked my baggage over a few hours. I left the workshop feeling understood and poised for one of the most significant transformations that I would experience in the aftermath of my crash. Now, some might say that the Enneagram is simply a personality profile, but I would suggest that the Enneagram is a life-transforming insight into a way of living more deeply, richly, and ultimately in a more gratifying way. The Enneagram has been a door, a gate, and a light. It's no coincidence that these same words are also biblical references to Jesus. I am so grateful that the Spirit of God led me to that workshop at the Yoon Center, because the insights I gained have given me hope for living the life Jesus assures us of, what Scripture calls the abundant life. I wrote this in isolation without the counsel of other beautiful 1s to support or deny my claims, so I would love your take on the 1 you know or the 1 you are. Join me on social media, and let's get talking. Each day will conclude with a section that you can use however is the most helpful for you, whether making it a time of journaling, self-affirmation, or foregoing a new practice. Feel free to explore them and see where they take you. Do what nurtures your soul. Day 1. Notice what you are noticing. Not long ago, my husband, Rudy, and I agreed that it was time to make a shift from our busy lives, since our way of living wasn't working anymore. I had been living for 6 months in Indianapolis to support our daughter and son-in-law in caring for our newborn grandson. I had never imagined being a grandmother. I had never dreamed of moving to Indianapolis or living anywhere other than Houston. After 6 months of Rudy commuting back and forth from Houston, we had a moment of awareness. We noticed that we had too much house in Houston for the shift that had occurred in this new season of our lives.